Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and I have my co-host here, the lovely Trey J, but he's currently eating, and I decided to just go ahead and record this because then he'll be quiet while I feed him. So hopefully you already seen the previous video when I talked about my birth story, and yes, I have the same outfit on because I wanted to go ahead and give you all the content. So yeah, so we just gonna appreciate this in my jean jacket and my mama dress. And now we have our new co-host, Trey J. So I wanted to talk to you all. Say hello, baby. You think I'm talking to somebody? Okay. He look, y'all, he start acting up. You know, he don't get his milk. But I wanted to talk to you all about like the C-section and how it's going with the recovery process, all of that jazz. So as you all know, I already had to get the epidural because I was in pain. So technically I didn't have to get it, but according to my body, I had to get the epidural. And they went ahead and used that anesthesia. That's how you say it. Yeah, y'all, don't judge me. Anesthesia, they went ahead and used that instead of giving me a separate spinal block because it numbs you from the waist down. What they did was up it and made sure I could get it pretty much from like the armpits down, which is pretty crazy. I can't even imagine that I was on that much drugs or that many, you know, narcotics to numb me so I could have full-blown surgery. And the real kicker is that I wasn't asleep. So I was wide awake while they were giving me surgery, cutting him out of me, which is the craziest thing, right? So they used the epidural. Y'all, he over here killing this milk, okay? They used the epidural and they used this little pokey thing to check and to make sure I couldn't feel anything because they didn't want me to be able to feel anything, right? Y'all, he's killing this milk right now. And so what they ended up doing was they used this little spray thing and they made sure like, okay, can you feel this? All right, y'all, I had to get him together. So they gave this little cold spray. They were like, can you feel this? Can you feel how cold it is? Can you feel this poke? Can you feel this and that? And y'all, I couldn't feel anything. And the stuff that I could feel, I told them. They gave a little bit more medicine, tested again. I couldn't feel that. I was drugged up regardless, y'all, but back to the program. 10 to 15 minutes long. They took me back first to make sure I was set up in the OR. For those of y'all that don't know what OR means, because I feel fancy in my terminology, that's the operating room. One thing I can say throughout the whole process, like once I started getting that medicine, I was cold. And I'm normally not a cold person, but I was cold, y'all. They came and gave me them heated blankets. And when I say it was clutch, I mean clutch. And so when they took me in the operating room, I had an actual nurse. One nurse was there for me to make sure I couldn't feel anything. Then I had another nurse, like, listen, y'all, being in a hospital was like superb treatment. I can honestly say, like, I'm grateful that I wasn't there for anything other than giving birth. I'm grateful I wasn't there because I was sick or anything like that. So Lord, please cover those people that are sick in the hospital battling with so many things, especially in the middle of a pandemic. So I'm glad I was there to just, you know, have a baby, right? But back to the nurses that I had. So I had one that took care of me, make sure I was good, couldn't feel any pain. She was setting up music for me. So I think I wanted to play jazz or gospel. I think it was jazz. So yeah, she put some jazz on for me so I could relax. Then I had another nurse that was just strictly there to watch over the doctors. Intermission. Y'all, he loves to drink until he chokes. Okay, mom life, right? You okay, baby? Or you want more milk? Okay, there we go. So we had one nurse that was able to watch over me. The second nurse, like I said, she was strictly there to make sure the surgeons and the doctors did not leave anything inside of me. Like, you heard that right. She wanted to make sure that however many instruments they had, you know, was still there. Like, none was sewn up back in me, none was left in my, you know, uterus and all that jazz. So that was pretty cool. And then I had the anesthesiologist there to make sure that everything was good to go, right? Then I had one surgeon and an assistant surgeon, and then I had 3 other people that was there assisting the surgeons. So it was a lot of hands on deck, which I was super excited about, and I felt super blessed because everybody was there to like take care of me and make sure he was safe and sound. Once they got me together on the operating table, are you finished drinking, buddy? Once they got me together, yeah. Once they got me together on the operating table, then they sent my lovely husband in, and he was able to, you know, be there with me, hold my hand, and y'all, right now, he just finished a workout, but, babe, can you please tell them what you saw?
I saw guts. They put her spleen, her intestines, and her stomach on the table.
On the table?
Mm-hmm. And then they put it back in there like they was stuffing a to-go bag for vacation.
Listen, y'all, like when he said that, I was kind of disgusted, but kind of like, oh, like I'm all in, like drugged up central, mind you. And another thing that happened while they were doing the surgery, they were like, you're gonna feel, you know, like there's a 10-pound person on you. I guess that was at the point where they were trying to pull him out of me. Y'all, it felt like I had a brick, like bricks on my chest. And then after that, you know, a little pushing in that, and I couldn't feel a thing. Next thing you know, he came out and he was like, nyah, 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 like that. And then, you know, he didn't cry loud or anything like that. And then I think with that one, remember on my birth plan, we couldn't do the delayed clamping. And then they, you know, made sure he was good to go, put him on his little bed thing and started checking him out and making sure he was good to go. And he was 7 pounds, 13 ounces. The boy was big, y'all. He was nice and healthy. And now he's, you know, 1 month in, 1 month and a few days in. And the boy is literally 10 pounds, okay? So he chunky. He loves to eat. And when it came to, you know, the C-section pain and recovery, they wheeled me into recovery, and I was there for about, I say an hour. I did some skin to skin with him. You know, they made sure they gave him his shots and checked out, you know, everything with him. And then they put me into like my postpartum room, and that room was tiny, okay? It was a lot smaller. I think it was like half the size of like my labor and delivery room, which, you know, I didn't particularly like, but what can I do about that? Just simply because I like more space, especially when people are going to keep coming in and out, in and out. But it is what it is, because I was in the bed most of the time. And right now, y'all, he's trying to use the restroom, so that's why you hear all of that noise, because he's not eating his food. But I will say, like, I will say, like, my pain, they was giving me Motrin and like Tylenol, I believe. And they had said for me to get the Lovenox or Lovenox, you know, that stuff for the blood clot. I didn't end up doing that at all. They said if I could walk around, you know, by the time it was time for me to leave, then I wouldn't need to take the blood clot medicine. So I forced myself to walk around, you know, the hospital at least the second or third day. I can't remember. I think the first time I came out of the hospital, my room, was the third day. You okay, baby? You okay? Alrighty. My pain was very weird, I will say, because, you know, I was on so much medication, so that was helping. But, hey, baby, it's okay. But, you know, the real pain was when I came home, because I no longer had... You just gonna scream through the whole video? Alright, well, as soon as I turned the video off to get him together, he like pushed all of whatever he had out, honey, and he feels so much better now. Well, that's good for you, son. You got a little bit left. Anywho, so the real pain was when I got back home and I didn't have my electronic bed anymore. And my electronic bed in the hospital was love. We were there. We ended up giving birth on Wednesday. And so we were there Wednesday. Well, we were already there Tuesday. So we were there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We left on Friday. And they gave him the circumcision on Friday. So it was just a lot happening on Friday because a lot of births was given on that Thursday. And my doctor that would do the circumcision, she was already booked up. So he had to wait till Friday. And, I needed that mechanical bed because my whole abdomen was completely ripped open. So to not have that bed was definitely challenging. Another challenging aspect was that first car ride home. Whew, child, that was something else. Like, I felt like the baby was going to fly out the window, even though, this, like, car seat was completely secure and the windows weren't even down. I also felt like I was going to fall apart because I was in so much, like, pain. Like, I walked so slowly to get downstairs, use the elevator, stuff like that. But going over those bumps in the road, and y'all, if you from Durham, Roxborough Street roads are horrible coming from the hospital. And so, yeah, that wasn't best. But when I got home, I live on the top floor, so we don't have an elevator. I had to hike up all of those steps. So it took me about 5 to 10 minutes to get up those steps, where normally, I can just sprint or run up the steps. So that was a challenge. The only medicine that I did take, they offered me oxycodone. I still have it in my cupboard, so I never took it, didn't take it in the hospital, and I didn't take it for my recovery. I only took ibuprofen. And I took stool softener to help me for when I did, use the bathroom. I wouldn't get hemorrhoids or anything like that. And also, I was still taking my prenatal vitamins and my iron pills. But yeah, I never took any oxy, and I didn't get that blood clot medicine. Another challenge was just, doing the day-to-day, walking around. That evening, I had a mini meltdown. I felt so bad. I felt like a burden on everybody. Because, at the hospital, you have all these different nurses, and you have staffs and surgeons and everybody checking in on you. But, now I'm home, and I have my husband, but I'm like, he's tired too. Like, he's been at the hospital with me all these days, sleep deprivation, and I felt bad for him as well. But, I couldn't do anything, so I was asking him to do everything. And then my mom was here as well, and she was trying her best, to be nice and to help me and everything. But I just went in the bathroom and started crying because I just felt like an imbecile. Like, I went from being able to do everything to not being able to do a lot. And that was a huge reality check. Because, it just felt weird to come back home, to leave the house knowing that you could do a lot, and then to come back and realize, like, dang, my birth plan didn't go according to plan. And now I had a C-section, so now I can't do, everything like I used to be able to. So that was a thing I had to get used to, a nice adjustment. But I am healing well. I did heal well. I took, that medicine for 10 days. And nobody gets a trophy for not taking the pain medicine. So if you are in pain, please take your medicine. I had mine set up on an alarm system. So, like, I had it every 6 hours. So I take it at 1 o'clock, then 7 o'clock, then, 1 a.m., then 7 a.m., stuff like that. So it definitely helped to put it on a schedule so you can get used to taking it. But, yeah, like, shout out to everybody that had the C-section, because it literally feels like that first time of me getting up out of bed, oh, my Lord. Like, without my mechanical bed, because I used to, like, hit a little thing, and it raises me up, Without that, I felt like so much pain. And the blessing behind everything, was my husband was helping me get in and out of bed, lay down. Like, I honestly don't know how I would have been able to, go through this C-section without him, without my mom, just without that support. So big ups to everybody that, are single parents. You have to go through this stuff alone because it's not easy and you need a support system. So, even in this pandemic, I'm glad that I had them. Normally there's a lot more people that can be around, but even outside of a pandemic, I don't think I would have wanted that many people in my space so immediately. It was just weird to go through those hospital days without having visitors come in the room. But I had enough nurses and doctors and the cookie ladies. Y'all saw that on my story. I had enough people, coming in and out of that room. Then, like, if I had to have more people, it probably would have been a lot, especially having a C-section. Another thing that nobody told me about was that they don't require you to shower, which was weird to me. Like, I had the bandage over my incision, and it was Friday morning. I would say late Thursday evening. No, Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning at like 5 a.m. And I had asked one of the nurses, I was like, so y'all gonna let me shower? How am I supposed to shower? Because I was just so tired of sitting in that bed and then coming in and changing the sheets and doing the little wet baths and stuff, or sponge baths. I was so sick of that. I wanted to take a shower. And so I was she was like, oh, just take a shower, don't let the water directly just, be on the bandage. But as long as it runs down, you're good to go. Like, don't rub the incision. So I was like, okay, cool. And when you get out, just make sure, your bandage is dry and everything. But it was covered with plastic anyway, plastic tape. So I didn't even have to worry about that. I just put the towel there just to make sure. But when I did get home, because they took the bandage off, that pretty much like right after that before I went home. So anytime I showered at home, I made sure, to just let the water run and not scrub it so it can heal properly. And you can barely even see the incision, which I am grateful for. Another thing that I did use was the diapers that I told you all about in my Amazon unboxing video. Yeah, I used those diapers, and I used those postpartum undies and pads. I didn't buy any other ones for my personal preference or anything like that. So yeah, just take everything that they give you because they're gonna give you a lot. There's a reason why you interrupted my video. But yeah, like, use everything that they give to you because it's a waste of money. You already paid for it with the doctor. Why is it every time I start talking, you want to grunt and moan? He either trying to push some more poop out, y'all, or go to sleep. Either way, that's just how he does. And then he'll be sound asleep, perfectly fine. But yeah, use everything that they give you at the doctor. Don't try to buy any extra stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I forgot to end this video, so make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you all next time.